Hello, everybody. This is Max Farrell from DexFXMarkets.com. In this segment, we're going to talk about the, news avoidance and process of what we're looking for the week. This is for the week of the 22nd to the 27th of September 2019. We're going to be talking about daily signals and ATM and 1 hour and 2 hour training of avoidance and news avoidance throughout the process. So there's a little bit that we're going to be covering here just in a few seconds. For the most part, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification button to let you know when new videos come out. Okay, so let's get started. This is going to be a pretty light week this week, and what I do is I come over to investing.com. I get to my economic calendar by going over to tools and economic calendar. Very simple. The first thing I want to do is isolate my week, so I'm going to put this week, and this is going to put everything that has a one bull news in there. Now, you might feel overwhelmed. Two bull news is not going to affect the daily signals or the ATM signals. Let's be honest. Okay, what we're really looking for is three bull news. So how do we do that? If we're over at our friends over at investing.com, you simply click on the filters button. And you can isolate the different pairs that you have. I don't think we need to worry about Italy's currency there, or even Russia's currency, or Singapore, or maybe Singapore. Leave that one in there. Spain, South Africa, all that kind of stuff. We really don't need to know that. You want to keep the Eurozone, I don't even know if we need really Germany or India's, or we'll keep New Zealand on there. Keep the United States, the United Kingdom, of course. Keep the Switzerland. Keep China, Canada, Brazil. We'll take Brazil off. All right. And now I can also, you can search the event by the name of whatever's happening. But what I also look to do is I can just isolate the categories of what I wanted to do, but I want to kind of keep it only three bull news. Okay, that's it. Three bull news, the most important. I'm going to hit apply. And what this is going to do is it's going to give me sort of a breakdown of the week. And you can see it's pretty light week in as far as news goes. And it's going to give you the date. It's going to give you the when the news is happening. And what I'm looking for daily signals, okay, is that the daily signals come out at particular times during the day. So let's just say for the 11 o'clock expiry, and you trade the 11 o'clock expiry, okay, the signal comes out at 8:15, possibly at 8:15. So it could come out at 8:15. So what I'm looking for is three bull news that fires at 8:30 and anywhere inside that signal time. So from 8:30 to 11. If there is just one firing, you might be okay. But if there's two firings, like let's look at Thursday. Thursday's the big one because all these other times don't really matter at the moment. 8:30 and 10 o'clock. This is the one that I'd be really avoiding and waiting till Thursday to avoid. I'm not so much worried about the crude inventories. Here at 10:30, this one could be also another avoidance for the 11 o'clock expiries because you're happening right at the last hour. And there's three bull news happening. And that's something to take a closer look at. You can also go back in and do two as well and hit apply. And now you can see that it starts to take a little bit more shape. We get to Thursday. There's a lot of news happening at 8:30, which could push the signal in. And at 10 o'clock, which means that the signal could get pushed even a little bit further at that point. So if you're trading the dailies, those are the times that I would do. I would just look at the 10 to 10:30 process right there. All right, so now that we're on just three bulls, I'm going to hit apply. And it's going to come back, and you're going to see that 8:30 to 10 o'clock is where I really want to avoid. Even the 8:30 news here may not be too big of a deal. You might be able to get away from the process. The signal's probably already been fired. If you do get pushed, you got about 2.5 hours for it to come back inside the process. Okay, this is for the dailies. So here on Tuesday, I'm not really seeing too much happen. Here's a 2200 for the NZD. This may affect the Aussie a little bit, but not too much. But keep that in mind. 10 o'clock in the morning, really, again, three bull news happening at that point. You may want to avoid Tuesday morning at the 11 o'clock expires, but we find that they usually do pretty well. They might get you close to ATM. You might get a couple ATMs out of that. All right, so that's for the dailies. What do we do about the 1 hour trades? Well, That's another great question. I'm going to go back to filters, and I'm going to go back to 2 bull as well, and I'm going to hit apply. At these times, where you really want to be very careful are the signals that fire off with a 2 and 3 bull in them. Okay, so in a particular 1 hour period, if there's a lot of happening, you can kind of see here the USD, 1:30 on Monday morning. This is Monday morning in the AM. There's a lot of stuff happening. These would be for the 3 o'clock expiry now, or sorry, for the 2 o'clock expiry that would be happening. So you'd be a little bit careful at that point, okay? And that's what I would do. I don't want to go down the list of every single one to avoid, but again, if you get more than one in a period, I would kind of try to avoid that hour of trading at that point. Here's in a 4 o'clock period, 2 bull incidences. Where it gets a little stuffy is during that hour. If you get the 3 bull, definitely avoid the 10 to 11 expiries. Definitely avoid this time. Again, 10:30, you want to avoid this time as well. You may even, when you get a lot of action of news, carve out a block an hour before and an hour after to not trade. So from like 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, I wouldn't be trading at all. Anything USD related here at this time period. Okay. Again, this 8:30 block of news, maybe an hour before and an hour after. Yeah, same thing here on Friday, about an hour before 8:30. So you don't want to trade the 9 o'clock expiries or the 8 o'clock, or maybe the 8. You could probably get away with the 8. Okay. But the 9 o'clock expiry is definitely not. Anything coming out at 8 o'clock for 9 o'clock expiry, avoid, because there's a lot of news. And you may think about not taking anything at the 9 to 10 hour when there's a lot of news at the 8:30. Here again, 10 o'clock, probably starting again at that point. You might be able to get away with a 10 o'clock because there's nothing afterwards. And then sort of end out the day. Now, trading on Fridays, I kind of avoid trading on Fridays. It's usually the end of the week mentality. I usually get some time in at Sunday night because there's rarely ever any news on the 1 hours from that process. Now, if you're using our trading bot that has come out, our ZDON system, our full ZDON system's coming out here very soon with our new strategies and everything on it, and our TNT glycerin strategies. These are times that we're going to be having incorporated into the system with the news avoidance process. So the bot will automatically avoid the news as well. But if you're trading using our TNT strategies and our charts, even on our 1 hour and 2 hour signals, super huge. Okay. Now, if you're trading 5 minutes signals, I'm going to be honest with you, don't trade anything with 2, or you know what? You're going to go back to the filters. You're going to come in here and you're going to hit 1 and you're going to hit apply. Basically, it's the same thing that's on our system here. If I go to a 5 minute TNT signals, I'm going to bring us to these charts, to these actual signals themselves. They haven't fired off for Sunday night yet, but I'm going to go to my charts or my news system here, and I'm going to look to see if there's any news. Okay, being that it's Sunday, I'm going to look. There's at 1900. I'm going to even avoid 1 bull news at this point. Okay, so that's basically what I would do if I'm looking for my perfect signal firing off. I'm going to avoid that news like the plague. And usually with a 5 minute, you're going to avoid 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after. But again, if it's 2 or 3 bull and there's been a lot of news, I would avoid it for a couple of hours and come back in. Kill the possibility of losing with a bazooka instead of just a sniper rifle. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you're trading the 1 and 2 hour trade signals, it's probably pretty good to keep away from the 2 and 3 bull process, and especially end of the day stuff on Fridays. All right. Well, that's your forecast for the week. I'm Max Farrell. This is DexFXMarkets.com. Remember to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification so you can get these emails and these updates. I appreciate your time. I look forward to seeing you all soon. And as always, trade well.